What gear should you get for your home studio in 2020? Well, it's a bit of a loaded question because I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff here, but right up front, I want to say three things. Number one is use the gear you have right now to record. For goodness sake, you don't need all the gear, and I don't like hearing the excuse that, oh, I don't have the latest and greatest microphone or interface or headphones, so I can't start recording. Nope, start recording now. Start right now. Well, watch the rest of this show, then start right now recording with the gear you have. I don't care if you got your headset and you plug it into your iPhone and you start recording in GarageBand. Just do it, get started recording. You're going to learn a lot. You don't need all the gear. Number two is please spend what you can afford. So I'm not telling you to go out and spend money you don't have. And the beautiful part about buying gear for your home or mobile studio is you don't have to do it all at once. Sure, you can go out there and just kit yourself out, but you can also upgrade components as you go along, and that's what we'll be talking about in this as well. And third is gear will not magically make you better. It will not make your songs better. You need to practice the actual art of songwriting, the art of recording, the art of mixing, and all of that is pretty independent of your gear. You can have $1 million studio and a crappy song, and guess what? Still a crappy song. That all being said, good quality gear just means that the gear is getting out of the way of your creativity. So what you want from gear is not for it to do the work for you. It's never going to do that. But if you're finding that you've got noisy recordings, you've got hissy recordings, you're not getting that pristine quality of audio that you think you deserve, then guess what? A little bit of investment into your gear may actually help you. And when we talk investment, we're not talking thousands. We'll show you what that's all about in a moment. So let's jump in and talk about the key things. So there's actually four main parts of a home studio, in my opinion, and this varies from different folks. If you are a guitarist and or vocalist or recording analog or like real instruments, you'll need yourself an audio interface, you'll need a microphone, and you'll need a pair of headphones. That is going to be the absolute bare minimum. So if you've got a Mac or a PC, you plug those three things in together, you got yourself a nice little mini studio ready to go. If you're a keyboard player or you're using virtual instruments or synth instruments, then a MIDI keyboard is a very, very good investment. We'll talk about those too. And then if you're mobile, if like me, you love recording on your iPhone or your iPad, there's another couple of pieces of kit you'll need, which is your Lightning to USB adapter and maybe a powered USB hub as well. Now, the entire rig, if you buy everything that I'm about to show you, it's $550 US right now. We're talking July 2020, and that's the overall cost. If you just get that guitar vocal rig, $370. The guitar vocal rig with a keyboard, $490. So, like I said, this is the middle of the range stuff. You can go more budget. You can definitely spend more money, but this is what I've found as the sweet spot that's going to give you the best bang for your buck and the best quality without hopefully breaking the bank. One final thing before we dive in and look at the actual gear. We are here in July 2020. Stock is super limited of a lot of this gear. So you are going to find wherever you're buying, if you're buying from Amazon or Sweetwater or anywhere Thomann, anywhere in the world, you're going to find a lot of stuff out of stock. So we'll talk about that as we go through what's actually in stock, but a lot of stuff you may find is on back order. So yeah, if you want stuff really, really soon, you'll probably have to look around on the secondhand market, but don't pay more than retail. There's a lot of folks out there trying to scam people using the scarcity of the market to try and make money from people that they don't deserve. So please be cautious when you're doing that. Let's jump over here and start looking at some of this gear, shall we? So here it is, the Steinberg UR22C audio interface. And funnily enough, I actually just asked a question on my community tab. So if you follow me on YouTube, you can actually go to the community tab. Let's just get the refreshed answer here. So I asked, what's the most important part of a mobile or home studio setup? And 63% of people said this. That one said an audio interface. So because of that, and I agree with that, having a good quality audio interface is something I recommend. So you'll see here of our $550 total budget, I'm recommending we push nearly $200 into the audio interface. Why? Because the Steinberg UR22C does everything and it does it really well. Now, if you want to go budget or if you want to spend a little bit less, Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 or Scarlett Solo are really good. And you can even go the Behringer range of interfaces and you're going to go down to $150, $100, as low as $70 or $80. if you go down. But again, you do get what you pay for. Why do I like this? Because it's built like a tank and it has some pretty exceptional features. So here it is. You can see there, we've got 2 input channels, which are preamps and stereo line inputs. So if you got a stereo keyboard, you can record that. You got 2 microphones, you want to record stereo mics, you can record that. We've got, coming across here, we've got a mono switch, which is super handy. It means if you're using the 2 channels, you're not hearing them on the left and the right. Everything's coming out together, which is handy. You've got a mix knob there, so you can hear either completely latency-free direct monitoring, that's important, or you can blend it in with the effects coming back from your DAW. Also a really handy option if, say, you're playing a guitar through a guitar amp sim, you want to hear a little bit of the clean sound, but then you want to make sure you can hear those effects. Same with your vocals, you want to hear that latency-free monitoring, but you want to dial in a bit of effects. Really, really cool. Got the input switch there for the high Z or high Z, which means you can turn your second channel into a direct guitar input. Super handy for guitarists. And then you've got headphones and a stereo output. And the outputs on the back of this one, there you go. We've got actual balanced TRS outputs, which you don't get on a lot of interfaces. You've got MIDI in and out. We've got class compliant, not class compliant. We've got a 48 volt phantom power. And then the reason I love these so much is you've got 2 different power sources here. So we can power it up either directly via USB 3, or we can power it via a 5 volt DC, but connect it via USB as well. And in the box comes a USB-C to A cable. So that's going to make it compatible for most of the gear that you're going to use. In terms of quality, these things are built like a tank. They're made out of steel. You can really feel the heaviness and of the quality components that they're using in there. We've got the Yamaha D preamps on here, which are really super nice and clean and quiet. They'll get you the best quality from the microphones or the guitars or whatever you're plugging in. And guess what? If you listen to any of the EP that I just released, my last EP called Maybe, it was all recorded directly in GarageBand on my iPad using this exact audio interface. So I've spent a lot of time talking about that because I think it's super important that you understand. And in terms of audio quality, 24-bit up to 192 kilohertz sound. So you're talking studio quality sound there all the way. That is my recommendation on audio interface. What do you think? If you've got other recommendations, love to hear them. Let them know in the comments down below. Let's move on to the next component. So my next most important component is this. Now, back on the survey, this only got 2% of the votes, that people thought the microphone was not the most important part of your studio setup. I kind of think it is. So having a good quality microphone, in this case, this one, the Audio Technica AT2020, there it is there, but here it is here. It's always hanging around, so I've got it ready to go over here, hanging on my mic stand. It basically lives on my mic stand, which I know is probably bad form. I should probably put it away and keep it dust-free, but I just use it so much that it sits on a mic stand with a pop filter ready to record at a moment's notice. So why the AT2020? Well, you'd probably be aware that there's 2 different main types of microphones. You've got condensers and you've got dynamic microphones. Dynamic microphones is like your old school SM57, SM58, the handheld mic. If you see someone singing live, performing a live gig, they're using a dynamic microphone. A condenser microphone like this one, or this one, this is actually a handheld condenser, believe it or not. These are different because they actually require phantom power, which interfaces and mixers like the Steinberg UR22C provide, and that means that there's got actually a powered capsule in there. That's going to pick up a lot more sound. So the benefit you get of these is you get really crisp, really clear audio, but the downside is it picks up a lot of room noise. So the only thing I'll say about this, I recommend this for everything, for vocals, for guitars, for acoustic guitars, acoustic instruments. The only downside is that it is going to pick up a lot of detail. And if that detail is a very echoey room, lots of traffic noise, lots of background noise, that is going to come through. You can solve for that by using what I do, a walk-in robe. I've got a closet over there that I can record in, or a smaller space. Or if you really can't get over that noise, something like the Shure SM58 or SM57 or the AKG D5 may be good for you. And by the way, these are all down in the description and also over at my gear guide. So if you go to studiolivetoday.com/gear, I've got links to all of these where you can check them out wherever you are in the world. You can look where they are, and those are affiliate links, meaning if you make a purchase, they break off a little chunk and send it to me to support the channel. So that's your audio interface and your mic. So if you just want to get the basics, and you grab those two, yep, you're setting yourself back $270 if you take my advice and get these two, but it is going to be a worthwhile investment because you're going to get very good quality audio by doing that. Let's continue on though, because we've got others to get through. Headphones. So headphones are, where did they rank? So they ranked second, in fact. 15% of folks said a good pair of headphones is essential for your home or mobile studio. I use these. They're on special at the moment, which is a good thing. They're also not in stock. They were. They were in stock about a week ago. They're back out of stock. So I'd assume they'll get some more in. Why do I like these? Well, every time you see me, I'm wearing a pair of these. Every time you see the channel, I'm wearing these. I like the curly cord that you get. So that means you're not going to pull out of your gear. We've got these over-ear, very nicely padded cups that go around your ear. They're closed back, meaning that if you're tracking, you're not going to get a lot of bleed coming out of your headphones into your microphone. That's super important. And they're just nice and flat. When you're monitoring your audio, you want flat. You don't want anything that's going to hype your treble or your bass, that's going to give you frequencies that are not there, that's going to overemphasize them. So that's why I like these. Now, there's a heap of different headphones you can get. If you want to go down in the budget, you can go down to some AKG, Audio Technica. There's a heap of recommendations. And you can spend, I think if you're spending anything from $50 to $60 up, you're going to get a good quality headphone. If you go something cheaper than that, it's not going to give you that sound reproduction that's going to help you. And the other thing people will ask at this point is, what about monitor speakers, Pete? You're not even mentioning those. I don't consider those part of your, if you're starting out or if you're building up your home studio, I think they come later. I think you'd need all of these things before you consider monitor speakers, because a good set of monitors is probably about the same amount again. You know, you're talking $300, $400 for a decent pair of monitor speakers. I think you can get away with using a decent pair of cans instead for a fairly long period of time. So that's your headphone option, well, one of the headphone options and what I recommend there. So with those three, what do we have in our budget? For those three together, our guitar and vocal rig, you're at $370. Now, if you are a keyboard player and you either don't need the microphone or you want to just use virtual instruments or have both, you'd want to go for a MIDI controller. Now, I'm a little bit in love with this one. It's $119 at the moment. You can get it for as low as $99. Here's mine. I've always got it. It's always here in the background. This is my M Audio KeyStation 49. You'll see that I'm not actually, super loyal to one particular brand. I use the brand that does the best thing for that category. So M Audio KeyStation 49. Why do I like this one? It is the best balance of price and quality, in my opinion. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have all the knobs and the faders and all the stuff. So if you're a full-on electronic producer and you want all of that, you might want to spend a little more. But for someone like me that wants to record in keyboard parts, record in piano parts, use it to control drums, use it to control bass instruments, and just program in different synth sounds, this works a treat. It has all the things you need there. You've got your pitch bend and your modulation wheel, volume control, octave control there. You've got a bunch of different functions across on the actual keys, as you can see there. So it does have a bunch of stuff, not all the bells and whistles, but some bells and whistles. And it just... it comes with its own, well, comes with a cable. Yay, it comes with a cable. Plugs in via USB, like all the other gear that we're mentioning here. It has a sustain pedal input. It just ticks all the boxes for me. It's got touch sensitive keys, so you can really nice action on those. Semi-weighted, so not the full weighted keys, but also not tapping plastic and not feeling any sort of feedback at all. Semi-weighted keys. Yeah, and this is one of the few things that's actually in stock at the moment. Most of the other stuff is out of stock. So M Audio KeyStation 49, very cool option there. Let's just round this out because we've gone into a lot of detail on some of these. If you're in the mobile studio, so there you are. If you're like, okay, cool, Pete, I now know you've said what I want, and here's my $500, and I'm going to go and do it. Again, you don't have to do it all at once, but that's the gear that I recommend there. Now, if you're in the mobile studio, there are two pieces of kit you need if you're connecting to a Lightning-based iPhone or iPad. If you're using an iPad Pro, the beautiful part is that interface, the Steinberg, is USB-C. So you can actually plug USB-C straight into your USB-C. You're good to go. You're off to the races with that one. But what about if you're using a Lightning-based iPhone or iPad? Couple of extra pieces of kit you need. One is this, the Lightning to USB 3 adapter. Say it with me, Lightning to USB 3 adapter, the genuine Apple one. I see too many folks, they go out and they spend $500 on all of that stuff, and then they buy the cheap $10 or $15 eBay version of this. It's not economies of scale there, people. It's not going to help you out. I know 40 bucks, or in my case, $65 Australian. I know for a piece of plastic is not a lot of fun to pay, but you pay it once, and I've had this one for 3 years now. It still works perfectly, and it works every time. Problem with the third party and aftermarket ones, sometimes they don't work at all. Sometimes they work intermittently, which is terrible. If you plug this in and you plug all your gear in, you don't want it sort of cutting out halfway through your face melting guitar solo. That's no fun. Or iOS gets updated. Guess what? We're about to get iOS 14. I've got a feeling that I'm going to get an influx of emails from folks saying, my Lightning to USB adapter was working perfectly. I updated to iOS 14 and now it's not. Well, guess what? Apple are not going to not support their own adapters, but yeah, other adapters. Your mileage is definitely going to vary there. So I definitely recommend that. And the final thing that I'll recommend here, and again, all of these items are down in the description, is a powered USB hub. Now, this is especially for those with an iPhone or an iPad because it means that you can connect up multiple stuff. So if you wanted to have your MIDI keyboard, your M Audio keyboard, and your audio interface connected at the same time and recording at the same time, so you could play keys and record a microphone and a guitar through your interface all at once, you need yourself a powered hub. This is the one I recommend. It's made by Tendak. It's branded Atola, I believe, over in the UK, but it looks exactly the same. It's just branded differently. I've just found this one the most useful. It's sitting right here in my setup right now. It's kind of a permanent part of my studio. So yeah, it's what you need. And even if you're using a Mac or a PC, it's a good idea to have one of these just to have all your audio gear plugged into one spot. That goes into one USB port, and then you know you're always going to have the right amount of power delivered to power your studio. So there you go. That is my 2020 gear recommendations. We've got the audio interface, the Steinberg UR22C. Microphone is the AT2020 from Audio Technica. The Sennheiser headphones, we've got the M Audio KeyStation. And if you're mobile, the powered USB hub and the Lightning to USB 3 adapter. I hope you found all of that useful. And if you're in the market for some gear, you may have to wait a little while if you're right here in July 2020, but hopefully that will help you upgrade your sound.